Hello you lot, how you all doing? It's a lovely Sunday evening and I've come out here to do one thing, but I've ended up doing something else. I came out here to box up this, that's the Hyper-ST in that box. I've boxed that up, that's been sold and that's going to be posted off tomorrow. But I've found myself doing something else while I'm out here. Today, on a Sunday, which I wasn't expecting, a delivery came and we got a speed controller, an ESC and a motor, and I also got a receiver kit and a servo and some other bits and bobs to put in this drift car. So I've just been playing around putting it together, seeing how far I can get with it in sort of 10 minutes or so. I've already come across a problem with the motor. I'll show you more in depth of what it is in a minute, but basically the spur just won't reach, you know, there's a gap there, and I've got the mount over as far as it'll go, so I've either got to try and find a bigger spur or a bigger pinion, but either that or try and find a way to move the mount over a bit more. I think that's probably going to be the way, but there's no more, the holes aren't elongated or anything like that, so I'll have to drill my own holes and move the mount over. But the only thing is, the mount's nearly hitting that the belt there. The mount's not far off of it, so I won't be able to get a lot of movement on it. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that just yet. But that's for later on. I'll definitely better use this motor, I would have thought. There's no reason why not. It's just not the motor's fault, it's just where the mount is. So I'm not really sure what sort of setup it would have had before, but there we go. So but I've got the servo in. I've managed to find 3 screws in me. I'm looking for me little drawer of screws. I've managed to find 3, so I dare say I'll be able to find another one at some point to put the 4th one in there. Got the servo lined up. That's not quite long enough, so I'm going to have to turn these little things out more, and then that'll eventually reach. I use my little servo tester to put it in the neutral position, so we should be exactly halfway in between left and right. But I'll sort all that out later on. Once I get the radio and everything fitted, I'll be able to zero it out with that, and I'll see if the servo tester zeroed it properly or not. But for testing, just for now, I'm only just putting it on, so hold your horses with the comments. But anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm only out here for like 10 minutes because the missus weren't very happy with me, so I said I'm just going to go out there and box that one up, and I won't be any longer. But I've found myself doing this. But anyway, I'm just going to see if I can. I'm a bit gutted about the motor, but I'll work that out. Obviously there was a different setup on it before. Perhaps it had a bigger pinion, but this is. I did buy another one. Don't know where it's gone. That's a 14 tooth. I did buy. This one's slightly bigger, so it might fit. It's an 11 tooth. That might fit a bit better. If not, I'll go even less teeth and see if that one will fit. But this one's bigger than that one, so that might fit, and it might actually attach, you know, mesh up properly. But we'll get there with that. That won't be a problem. And I can mount the motor as well. But I put the servo on. I'm going to get the ESC mounted on there now. That should be easy. Just stick that on with some sticky pad, and happy days. Let's have a happy life. Love it, man. Wasn't intending on actually filming anything, but the camera was laying here on the table from a video that I made earlier on, and I thought to myself, you know what? Let's document a little bit of progress with this, and you lot can, you know, enjoy yourself however you choose to enjoy yourself while watching this. Nice. Now, so I've got the 11 tooth one on. I'm going to have to go even less because that still won't reach. Obviously there was a motor on here with at some point it has been used, and there obviously had a bigger pinion on it, you know, less teeth. But obviously I don't want to go too small. Or too big, sorry, too less teeth, or too, I don't know. But I'll have to just get the one on that fits and works and see how it performs. And if it's all right, then happy days, you know, brilliant. And if not, I'll have to work it out. But I'll have to go back onto back on at the internet and see what I can find. I was hoping to get a lot of this from my local model shop, the Active Scale Models, but when I looked on their website there was nothing on there. They're all geared up towards the model die-cast and stuff like that now. I can't find anything that I want on there anymore, so... But I got myself this, look, seems to be like a nice motor. I reckon this will be alright. It was just pretty much the first one that I come across that was within, you know, budget and all of that. Come as a bit of a combo, brushless system, it's a combo. So we'll stick that on there now, mount that up, and then I'll get the receiver out, stick that on there as well. Hopefully we'll have enough room. I might have to stick the receiver in there. That might have to go in there, the receiver. Looks like there's already been one there before, look. ESC will have to go here probably, receiver will have to go there more than likely, but we'll work it out and have a happy day. Alright, so for those of you interested, this is how far we've got. I've screwed the motor in temporarily. You can see the size of the gap there, so I definitely need a bigger pinion gear. Probably, I don't think I've got a bigger spur gear in the spares. I can't connect it because the one thing that I didn't buy, and I know you lot of electric geeks are gonna go, well, if you need them you're not gonna get it without it, but I thought I might be able to get away without it, but I can't, so I'm gonna have to buy them anyway. The extra wires, because it looks like, well, you do have to connect these to some more wires which then go into there. I was hoping, because I knew that it was going to be so close, I was hoping I might just be able to get away with just plugging them straight in there, but well, they don't fit. Basically, them connectors don't fit in there. Trust me, I've tried, and I don't want to damage them, so I'm not going to try really hard, but I've tried. They don't fit in. So I looked on the instruction manual, and you need the other wires. So I'm going to have loads of wires in here, which is fine. It is what it is. That's one thing that you have to accept sometimes. You have to have things a certain way, because that's just the way things are. And so if I have to have some silly long wires and cable tie them up, then that's what I have to do. So anyway, that's stuck on there with a sticky pad. This is mounted temporarily. Haven't quite decided where I'm going to put the switch yet. I think I'm going to have it here. I can't see that being a problem. It is held in place by the motor. The only thing that the motor might get hot enough to melt the wires, so I don't know if it will, but I know the motor will get quite hot, but will it get hot enough to melt the wires? Don't know yet. I might not keep that switch there, or what I might do is I might put the wire over the top of the motor. I was thinking about running it along there, the wire, but it gets dangerously close to that. But if I cable tie it properly to that, it should be alright. Anyway, that's not set in stone yet, so don't be shouting at me through the comments about that. But I think the switch will probably go there. Can't see any other really good places to put it. Receiver's going to go down in there. Yeah, I haven't got the little ball joint for the servo arm. I can't find one anywhere. Can't find one that fits in my little stash of ball things, so I'm going to have to get one somewhere from somewhere. But I've got to go back on the internet and buy those wires anyway. So and another pinion gear. So I'll have to get one of them. But I've just put a screw in it just for now, just to hold it in place, so I can get an idea of what it's going to look like. But yeah, we're actually, you know, making good progress. The temperature wire goes in there. I'll have to make sure I cable tie that up nice and tight so that it doesn't get ripped out and broken, but it's a drift car, so it's not going to be going off road and hitting rocks and stones and whatever else. It's going to be on a nice smooth surface, so that should be perfectly fine stuck in there like that. And I'll just cable tie the wire as tightly as I can do, so that's like that. Shouldn't have anything hitting it. We should be all good. They give you a I'm assuming that's a spare fan. Got a spare fan. Obviously the fans break quite often, so they give you a spare one. So very nice, very nice. I'm just going to fanny around now. I'm going to get the receiver put in there. I'm going to have another look to see if I can find a little ball joint to put on the servo horn. I bought the horn separately. It's a Traxxas horn. But I was hoping it might come with one, but it didn't. So just come literally as the horn. So yeah, nice, very good. We're getting there. You look, we are getting there. This very impromptu video. Right, so this is pretty much where I'm going to leave it. So this is a short video probably, but that sounds a bit impromptu, but I'm still going to do a little bit of fine tuning and refining, but I've turned the motor around this way so the wires are coming out the back here, because they're going to be quite long with the extension things on, so I thought that would be quite handy. And that also means that this temperature plug is higher up, so it does get it even more out the way of being hit by little rogue stones and things. The switch is going to go here because it's the only other place I can find to put it. I've turned around the ESC so it's this way round. Should have just enough room there to get the plugs in, but if not I can move it out a little bit more. The receiver I've snugly fitted in there, and that seems to fit quite nicely in there, so that's nice. I've plugged them in, just plugged them in just to get the wires out of the way. Yeah, so I've got to do a lot of tidying up. Once I've installed it properly, I've got the right pinion gear on there and it meshes properly, because I think those teeth might be a bit big for that spur gear anyway, so I'll have to see if I do a little bit of research, get the right pinion for it. And once everything's working, and then I'll cable tie the wires up and make them neat and tidy afterwards. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that, and so far it's it's not even made it that much heavier. I think that's pretty good. I think I'll have to leave that like that, and then wires coming out the back there's no problem there, they're well out of the way of anything. This is going to be on either carpet or smooth tarmac all the time anyway, so it's not going to be going off road, so we don't need to worry about that sort of stuff. I've just got to find another screw to screw the motor in properly, because I've only screwed it in with one screw. I can only find one screw. Obviously they don't come with screws, do they, when you buy the motors, so find another one of them. Got to find the little ball joint thing for the servo horn, and that is it. One more screw to screw the servo in, so we've got 4 screws on that. Another bit of sticky pad, which I've got loads of anyway here, to stick the switch down, but I'm going to wait until I'm 100% sure that this is how it's all going to go. And nice, then I should be able to give it its test drive. I've even found a little hole there for the aerial to go through, look. So I should have, hopefully, an aerial tube. Maybe this purple one might fit in there. Let me see if it will fit in the hole. If not, I can just sand a bit off the end. Excuse me, just lost a load of my aerial tubes down the back of the bench. I'll have to get them out in a minute. There's a bit of a gap and they'll go straight down there. Anyway, I need a little bit of sanding or filing to make it a little bit smaller to fit in that hole there, but got a nice little hole there to put the aerial up there. I will have to make a hole in the body, in the shell, but that's alright, I don't mind doing that. That will stick in there. And nice. I like having an aerial tube. Some people don't like having aerial tubes, especially you needed them with the AM gear. You needed to get your aerial up as high as possible to get your signal. With the 2.4 gigahertz, you don't need an aerial tube. I mean, you could have that aerial cable tied up down here somewhere, and it would still work for the intensive purposes of what I would need it, because I'm not going to be going far distances. But I like the look of aerial tubes, so I have one. It's as simple as that. I like them. I do wish that they would have longer aerials on the receivers for 2.4 gigahertz, because I like having the aerial coming out the top there and flapping around. I like that style. I always used to do it with the AM stuff, and I always had the aerial coming up out the tube. Some people, I used to know some people, they'd cut it. They'd get an aerial tube, and then they'd cut the actual aerial. The actual aerial coming out, they'd cut it so that it was the same length, and so nothing come out. I was like, you're mad. You're like reducing your signal. Not a lot, but you are doing it. So I used to just have it popping out, flapping around, and I like that style. It's like a bumper car. Anyway, so yeah. So I'm going to go on the internet. Shouldn't cost too much to get those wires that I need, and also to get a bigger in size, less teeth but bigger in size pinion gear to match up to this, and we shouldn't have a gap there then. And I dare say some of you are probably going to say, no, you need to drill holes or whatever, but there's no more holes. So obviously there has been a motor in this before, because I know the person who sent me this had used it twice, so there was a motor in it. So obviously I just need to get the right gears. I need to get the right cogs, the right pinion, and that is the one, that's the spur that was in there, so I need to get the right pinion. Simple as that. I'll just go and get a bigger one. in size, bigger in size, less teeth, bigger in size, and we'll see how that goes. Nice one, you lot. Well, that's the progress on it so far, so I shall see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Love life, and of course, any comments on this little build are very welcome. Any advice, very welcome. Some of you are probably going to say that this is the wrong type of motor for this application, in which case I don't really care too much, because it is an electric motor and it'll work. So we'll see how it all turns out, but I reckon it's going to be good, and I'm quite excited to plug it in and see what happens. There's the transmitter. Nice one, you lot. I'll catch you later on. This is an electric drift car, but we all know that anyway. This is a bag of bits and bobs that come with said drift car. So the other day I was fanning around. I only had a couple of minutes, I only had about 10 minutes. I was just sort of messing around a little bit, just sort of, well, I was impatient really, basically. I was really impatient. I really wanted to just have a look to see what was in the boxes, the new bits and bobs that I bought for this drift car, and then I thought to myself, let's fit them. So I fitted them. But the pinion gears that I bought were the wrong ones. They just don't fit, basically. And also, I thought I could get away with not having the wires, the little wires, to connect the motor to the ESC. I thought I could just connect them straight away. I didn't realise they'd come with both female connectors on them. So I'm going to remedy that problem. I've got loads of this silicone wire. I don't know why AWG, American wire gauge. That is a stupid way of measuring wire. But anyway, red silicone, black silicone wire. Somewhere I've got the bullet connectors. I just don't know what I've done with them. See, I've got these crappy ones. I'm not going to use these. Well, I can't use them anyway, full stop. But I have actually these plastic banana-y things. I use these for CB radio, but they're absolutely rubbish. I have got somewhere the proper ones, the actual proper ones that you solder on, very nice ones. But I've got the wire. I'll find the connector somewhere and make up the little bits of wire. But I'm just having a look through here to see if I can find a good opinion that's the right one that'll actually work. There's loads of bits and bobs in here, screws and belts, and there's just endless amounts of bits and bobs. We've got shocks. I might be able to find the little ball thing as well, in order to put the steering servo together. I'll have to have a look and see what I can find. There's all the bits and bobs in here. Got screws and bits of plastic here. Look. Another engine mount, loads of different screws and stuff. But I'll sift through it, see if I can find. If not, I might have to find one in here. A pinion that'll actually work. If not, I shall have to buy one, but that's not a problem. But I need to try and find little bullet connectors so that I can make up the wires. And then once I've made the wires up, we can be absolutely dandly-tandling on our way to revving up the electric motor for the very first time. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe I have found what I am looking for. In this unopened bag, we have one pinion gear. Look at that. That is what we want. There it is in all its glory. A completely unopened bag of parts. Unopened, never been opened, brand new, never been opened, unopened, and there it is in there. Let's open it up for the very first time, get the pinion gear out, put it on the motor, then I can mount the motor, and then all I've got to do is find them bloody bullet connectors. God knows what I've done with them. I've got all kinds of fuses. There's knobs and buttons for ham radios, capacitor tester, and there's a yo-yo there and a fuse, and I don't know what that was. PL259s. They're all just PL259s in there. I don't know. They'll be somewhere. I don't know what I've done with them, but they will be somewhere. Everybody's free. Have you seen that advert? It's for milk. It's a farmer's advert for milk. And everybody's free to feel good. Got pinion. 24 tooths. And we've even got in this little bag is the little grub screw, which I need to oh, there it is. Little grub screw which is needed to secure it to the motor. Right, and I just need another. I might better use these screws actually, they might be the right ones. So the other day, don't know whether I published that video or not yet, but I should imagine you've probably seen it by now. When I was fanning around just fitting these parts for the first time, I was literally like, I had like not any time. I said to the missus, I said, I'm just going to go outside and box up that nitro car ready to post off. Incidentally, a little bit of a story about that, because I'm using Royal Mail, right, and I use the app on the telephone, you know, and I measure the box, and the for a medium parcel, it said a maximum of 61 by 46 centimetres and up to 20 kilograms, right? So I made sure that the box was less than that, which it was. It was, the box was less than 61. It was 60 centimetres by 37. So when the little lady, it sends out, I thought it was going to send out a van, but it didn't. It sent out the lady, the post lady. She, you know, the post, the one that delivers the letters. And she also has a little trolley, and she collects small parcels. Well, she said, you've booked it wrong. This is too big for me. I said, I ain't booked nothing wrong. I said, well, actually it was my wife, but she was home, I was at work. But no, she said, well, we ain't booked nothing wrong. This is what it is. This is the right measurements. She said, no, it's not. This is far too big for me. I can't fit it in my trolley. Which is fair enough. She couldn't fit it in a trolley. But why they sent out her to pick up that, I haven't got a clue. It's not the first time that's happened either. Look at that. That is perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Well, maybe it could go over a little bit, but... Right, now I just got to get that screw back. Where's that screw gone? Oh, it's still in there. Like that again, I think. Right, so done a little bit of fanning around. I found a good another screw. So I've got two screws now holding the motor in. I cable tied. Oh, let's cut that. I cable tied the temperature plug just to these wires for now to keep it out of the way. Haven't yet stuck the switch down, but I cable tied that. Haven't managed to find a ball for the steering yet, but that's all you know, that can be sorted out in no time at all. Let's see if anything's going to happen. So I'll put batteries in the transmitter, that's turned on. Let's put some electricity to the whole lot. So let's see. Turn it on. Oh, the fan goes around. Oh. Right, so I've got them plugged into the wrong plugs. Let's turn that off. So I currently have the steering plugged into the throttle and the throttle plugged into the steering. So let's turn that around. That should go there, and that one should go there. Lovely. Now we should work. There we go. Got steering, and let's see if we can. Oh, that hasn't got the things on there. Throttle trim. There we go. Now we've got forward. A little bit of a wheel spin. Forward and backwards. Interesting. Anyway, I'm going to play around with this now. I'm going to put the battery in there, sort all that out, make sure everything's alright. I'm going to go and try and find the correct little ball thing for the steering because I don't want that to strip out, but that's working well. I can't argue with that at all. Look at the steering. There's a lot of steering on there. That is very good. In fact, there mightn't be too much steering. I might have to adjust the trim a little bit. Right, so let's... I do believe, well, I don't believe, I know for a fact. Don't forget, the only battery that I had to hand is these ones. I haven't got any LiPos or anything like that. So, the only LiPo I've got, well, actually I have got a LiPo, a 3S, sorry, not a 2S, with the correct connector on. And I'm going to keep these connectors. This is going to be, because it's not going to be, you know, going over jumps and stuff. They're not going to come unplugged or anything. So I could plug that into it and that would work perfectly fine. But let's stick this battery in here for now. And we'll see how well it's going to work. It'll work quite well, to be honest with you. Stick that in there. I'll have to get a sticky pad to stick that switch down in a minute. Plug that back in, turn her on. Yeah, happy with that. Not quite running straight, we can soon sort that out. Steering trim. Right, let me get another sticky pad. Well, see, that's going too far that way now. I might have to do a little bit of adjustment on the horn, but pretty happy with that so far. Now, as I was going to say, I do know for a fact that you can that this can be updated in different firmwares, and I don't know if you can program it or not. I'll have to read the instructions. I've got the instructions here. I'll have to give it a good old read through. I dare say you lot already know this is a well-known ESC, but I know that you can update it and all that kind of stuff. It's got Wi-Fi on it and all that other bollocks. But let me go and get a sticky pad, stick that switch down, and yeah, I haven't got anywhere to give it a zip around. It's what's the time? 8:15 at night now. I haven't got anywhere to give this a bit of a zip at the moment. I might take it indoors actually and give it a zip round in the conservatory later. But yeah, nice. Right, sticky pad time. This looks like a good screw. I've got the last screw now, so we've got 4 screws holding the servo on, the steering servo, so make sure they're all nice and tight. Lovely. I still haven't managed to find the little ball thing yet. I was just trying to find the right screws for it. I've adjusted the end stop on the steering so the wheels don't touch the suspension anymore. So that's pretty good. Pretty sure that could be a bit of a problem. I might have to do something about that. But I'm pretty sure though. I wonder if there's something wrong with that front diff. Oh, what's that there? I think we might have low battery power. Might have to have a look at this front diff. Because it grips, or is it... must be a limited slip diff on the front. So we've got most of the drives going to the rear and a bit of it goes to the front, which is good. That's what we want. A lot of people argue that 4-wheel drive isn't proper drifting, but I beg to differ, because 4-wheel drive drifting is just as much fun as rear-wheel drive drifting. Rear-wheel drive takes a bit more skill, but it's definitely just as fun. Right, I'm going to go and see if I can sift through those parts to find the right thing for the steering horn, and then we're pretty much done then. Right, I've got one, should fit. I nicked it off one of the spare bits, So that should be good. Let's just, and then once I've done that, it's complete. I'm pretty sure this can be tuned, like, you know, for what I want it to do. So I might have to do a little bit of tuning. Hello? Oh God, what's she got here? What's she got? She's got something on her face, probably. What? Go on then. Why have you got a tape face?
It's a face mask for coronavirus.
Oh. It's not even a real thing, is it?
Yes, it is.
Why are you leaving the door open?
Oh, well. What is it?
I just put this together, Bambi. You like it? That is very strange what you've got there. Very strange.
It's supposed to be reusable.
Is it?
Yeah. Look at that, Beth.
Oh,
That's a pretty good tape mask, isn't it?
yeah. A mask out of tape, eh? I've never seen that before.
You have to put it over your nose too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Let's pop this on. Right, there we go. Now we're fully operational. What do you think of that? Give it a go, give it a go. Full speed. Nice. Right, leave it there.
What are you doing?
Right. I think I'm right. Right. Probably need more battery. Right, so I just want to take it out for a little spin on the path outside, and I've obviously got to go through it and probably got to set this ESC up because when you're turning, it doesn't want to accelerate when you turn, and it sort of judders, and then nothing happens after it does that. This is a fully charged battery, by the way, so it should be good enough. But anyway, I'm absolutely over the moon. I now have it's completed more or less. All I've got to do is I've got to drill a hole. In fact, I'm going to do that now. I'm going to drill a hole in the top of this so that I can have, well, I don't know. Actually, I'm going to leave that to you. I'm going to leave that to you, you lot. Shall I like these. I like having an aerial tube, right? I like having aerial tubes. It's what I like, but it means I've got to drill a hole in the top of this body, right? Now, I'm going to leave it to you lot. Put it in the comments. Do I drill a hole and have my aerial tube that I like so much? Or do I get rid of it and just not have the aerial tube? Right, get rid of it and cable tie this somewhere so that it's happy. Don't know, I'll just cable tie it back there or something. And then not have it. Oops. You tell me, which one should I do? Should I drill a hole and have my aerial tube, or not drill a hole and not have it? That is for you lot to decide. Nice one. Well, thanks for watching on that, you lot. Appreciate all of that. This one is going to be the next one. We're going to sort out the body shell, and we're going to sort out all the other little bits and bobs, and then after that we'll have both the drift cars drifting around some sort of drift place somewhere. I've also got some drift wheels. these came in the post the other day, so I've got some drift wheels to go on the Skyline. I did have anyway before I dropped them. I'll catch you lot on the next one. And I'm pretty happy actually. I didn't have to make any extra wires because I couldn't find the connectors anywhere anyway. So I just didn't look at the wires properly. I thought they just didn't fit, but they did. So happy days. We're all happy. Lovely. Catch you lot later on.